And the funny thing is, all those people telling me not to be landlords, none of them, not a single one of them was a landlord. Let that sink in. I don't even know how to start this. This is a stupid video idea. I didn't go like this video. This is, why am I making this video? No one's gonna want to see this. I'm gonna screw up my channel by doing this video. No one's gonna watch this video, man. Let's just do it anyways. Alright, so cards on the table. It can be scary starting something new. It can be scary making big life changes. Whether that life change is a new job, a new career, a new investing strategy, a new diet regimen, a move to a new city, taking a chance, taking a risk. Just honestly, I think the biggest thing holding every single person back that I've ever met is a lack of confidence and a lack of support. A lot of people, when you try and make a change, if you're gonna start saving money, you're gonna start being financially responsible, you're gonna start working harder, you're gonna start a side hustle, you're gonna start investing in real estate, there's gonna be a lot of doubters, there's gonna be a lot of haters, there's gonna be a ton of people that just bring up the risk. And the worst part is, the younger you are, the more dismissive they're gonna be. I mean, like, if you're under 25, it's gonna be 1,000 times harder than if you're over 25. But even if you're over 25, it's still really scary because you're an adult now. You're not supposed to be taking risks. You're supposed to be settled down. You're supposed to know what you're doing with your life. You're not supposed to be experimenting after that stage. And like, that's all bullshit. And it really sucks because you're already scared yourself, right? You're taking on this new risk. You're chasing that new opportunity. You're doing something outside of the social norms. And so you're already filled with self-doubt. And then the whole world around you is also just hitting you with all kinds of doubt. All kinds of insecurities are being thrown at you. And I mean, it sucks. How can you deal with this? How can you deal with a lack of support? How do you deal with imposter syndrome? I don't think that there's a silver bullet. There's no one solution that's going to give you comfort and make you sleep well at night. But my first tip is really look at the sources of the doubt. Look at the sources of the haters. Look at what sort of facts are they standing upon. Do they have personal experience doing this themselves? I love looking impartially at the facts and at the sources of the facts. So look at that person. Are they financially stable? Are they currently doing, or are they in the industry that you're trying to break into or that you're trying to start a business in? Have they done it before and failed? All information isn't equal. A lot of people will simply use feelings and emotions and their own insecurities and project them upon you, and they're not going to have any facts backing up why your idea is stupid, why you shouldn't invest in real estate, why you shouldn't change your career when you're 30, why you shouldn't consider early retirement or lean fire. When I decided to start investing in real estate at 25, I found more than my fair share of doubters, haters, and just people that were going to question every decision I made. For example, myself, I had all kinds of family and friends talk to me when I decided to become a real estate investor at 25. Wait, what are you doing that for? You already have a good, stable job, you're a CPA, you're making good money. Why would you want to distract yourself from your main job with the side hustle of real estate? Why would you want to become a slumlord? Why are you going to waste all your free time? Life is about living, it's not all about money, man. And the funny thing is, all those people telling me not to be landlords, none of them, not a single one of them was a landlord. Let that sink in. Where are these people getting their sources of information from? They're going to tell you about like their second cousin twice removed that tried to become a landlord and failed. They're going to tell you about their grandma who tried to rent out her house instead of selling it and failed at being a landlord. First of all, that grandma, she was never setting out to be a landlord in the first place. She was trying to convert a property that wasn't meant to be a rental, that she hadn't run the numbers on, she just decided was going to be a rental. That cousin twice removed, who knows what their story was? Maybe they were in a terrible market. Maybe they overpaid for the property. Maybe they didn't do their research. Maybe they didn't put in the effort when they were screening their tenants. It's just, there's too many variables out there. So you really need to look at the sources of the information before you let those self-doubts and the haters really get at you, because honestly, at the very start when I was investing in real estate, it got to me. It was very scary. All these adults that I looked up to, that I respected, were telling me not to do it, but none of them had good reasons. None of them had facts. They were just using emotions and projecting their own insecurities on me. All those people telling me that money wasn't everything, that I was going to waste all my free time by having a side hustle and blah, blah, blah. Those people still today are the same people that are stressed out over money. They're still the ones that are struggling to make their mortgage payments. They're still the ones when you ask them how things are going, they're like, still just grinding away at work, you know, trying to make ends meet. I'm just like, if that's true, that's shitty, man. And if that's not true, why are you putting out all that negativity? If you're able to do more than meet ends meet, why are you telling the world that you can't? I don't understand this insincere humbleness that a lot of people seem to use these days about how hard it is to struggle. It's like, dude, no, I see you get Starbucks every day before you go to work. You're not struggling. And so like, don't lay that on me that you can't save money or that it's impossible to get ahead or only the rich get richer. If you put in the work, if you work really hard, good things will happen. I'll promise you that. But yeah, it doesn't matter. You can even still intellectually know that your parents who are telling you not to become a landlord have never been landlords and have no experiences and have no personal friends that are landlords. But it still feels really shitty to have people you care about constantly doubting you, constantly only bringing up the risk. The thing is, when you try and engage them in intelligent conversation or debate, they'll often just brush aside your facts or your anecdotes and they'll only focus on their own. They're not actually interested in having a conversation and having a debate. They're just looking to shut you down. And now there's a whole host of different reasons why people will shut you down. Sometimes they may feel insecure because you trying to improve yourself, you trying to step your game up to the next level reflects badly on them, because if you're able to do it, why aren't they doing it? Other people maybe just are lazy. They don't want to put in the extra effort, the extra work. And so again, it almost feels like a judgment reflection on themselves when you're out there hustling on a Saturday night instead of going to the club and getting blackout drunk. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is, and I say about this on my channel so often that you're probably getting tired of hearing it, but you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So those people you're spending time with, are they out there hustling? Are they working hard? Are they trying to think smarter? Or are they just punching a clock? Are they just pushing TPS report? And is that who you want to be? Because let's be honest, if you hang out with 5 TPS pushers, you're going to become a TPS pusher yourself. It's going to be so difficult for you to break out that mentality when everyone else around you is just talking about how many TPS reports they pushed out this week. And I mean, like, that, if that's what you want your life to be, that's fine. But I don't think that the reason you're watching my channel, that the reason you're searching on YouTube for self-help, self-improvement, real estate investing, all that, I don't think it's because you want to just become another TPS pusher. I think it's because you want to do something different. Maybe you want to make a difference. Maybe you just want to be able to have free time. Maybe you just want to focus on whatever your passion is, whether it's an artistic endeavor, a community endeavor, a social engagement. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to help you guys. And so I think the big thing here, the major life lesson that you need to take away from this video, if you take nothing else away, is that no one, and I mean absolutely no one, will give you permission to be successful. You just need to take it. Success is never going to fall into your lap. And so talking about it's not going to make it happen either. It's doing. So you just need to start doing. And so speaking of doing, that leads me into a really good segue about when I was 25, bought my first student rental property, and it was scary. My family thought I was stupid. They thought I was taking a risk. They thought, that I was going to lose all my free time, that I was going to become a slumlord, all that. And a lot of friends didn't get it either. I had 2 good friends that did get it, and so we bought that student rental together. I honestly at the time didn't know anyone that was doing this firsthand. I didn't have a big network, and I was scared to really tell people I was trying to be a landlord, because a lot of coworkers and stuff would just laugh and be like, oh, you own a property east of Adelaide, so you're a slumlord now, eh? And just like all that shitty, it's shitty. Like, you for making someone feel shitty about trying to improve their life. If you're one of those people that's just gonna like make fun of someone, and even if it's honestly a half joke, right? Like, oh, you're a slumlord now because you own east of Adelaide. If that's literally the full conversation you're gonna have with that potential landlord, you don't even say that joke. Oh, it makes me so mad, guys. And so one of the first experiences I had was me and my 2 buddies, we bought the student rental together. We were so pumped up, right? Like, even despite all the haters and doubters in our family and friends, we still just believed in it. And so I jumped over to an internet forum that I'm still a member of today, and it's an amazing internet forum, but there's a lot of people on it that aren't the most pro real estate investing, and that kind of came out to light. So let's actually just jump on my laptop right now and I'll pull up the old post, because I'd be lying if I didn't say that it still kind of stings a little, because I remember this. So this is the post I put up on the Canadian Money Forums. And just sidebar here, Canadian Money Forums are fantastic. I love it. I've learned so much from it. If you're a Canadian and you're interested in personal finance, you need to join this website, join this forum, and just read through all the amazing stuff. But that being said, take a lot of the advice with a grain of salt. So this is what I posted. Student rental property questions. Hello all, I have a couple questions for anyone with a student rental property. Myself and 2 partners just bought a student rental property in London, Ontario, near the college, and so far the most difficult part is lining up insurance at a reasonable cost. Part of the problem appears to be that we are 3 unrelated parties. Just wondered if anyone currently has a student rental property and who you use for insurance. Also, do you normally get tenants to sign a house lease or lease by the room? The house we are in the process of purchasing is 6 bedrooms and currently is on individual room leases. Any other advice or tips for a couple of first-time investors is more than welcome. Thanks. So, let's take a look at the very first reply. So, Barrowblend, or whatever her name is, was kind enough to respond, "You are buying one of the most high-maintenance type of rentals on the market. Whomever counseled you to buy such an investment, next time you see them, just kick them right in the nuts." Well, seeing how I was the one that suggested my 2 buddies buy the student rental with me, you can imagine the self-doubt and fear that flooded me. I can still remember just breaking out into a cold sweat, being like, oh my god, the numbers all make sense. I don't understand why this is such a bad idea. All the houses near it are student rentals. It appears that people are making money doing it, but me, this stranger on the internet, just shot down my dreams in 2 sentences. She goes on to say, "There are lots of investment properties that do not require the kind of attention that these ones do. You are now tasked with going there diligently and being on top of everything. There's a reason the insurance companies don't want your business. My advice to you is, if you don't want to be there all the time, do your best to get the hell out of the deal. These properties are best for you if you want to live there and supervise the going-ons." Whew. Well, it actually, I kind of forgot how this read. She even got meaner kind of there at the end, telling me to do whatever was necessary to get out of the deal. And I can remember being super stressed because at the time of posting this, back in 2010, we were already firm on the deal. So barring just breaking a legal contract, there was no way to get out of the deal. In which case we would at least lose our deposit, if not more. So I just responded to her and said, "I realize it's high maintenance, but I feel that there is a reason why nearly every house in walking distance to the school is a student rental, and that is the cash flow of these homes far outweigh other properties. I realize it will be a lot more hands-on than other properties, but being 25, I feel it's worth it. I only live 10 to 12 blocks away, so it won't be too much of a hassle if it requires frequent visits." Here I am in my head just freaking out, right? I'm just oh my god, what if I did just make the biggest mistake of my life? What if my parents were right? What if my family was right? What if all my friends and the haters and doubters and just everyone that I talked to for the last year before I bought my first rental property were right? What if I'm just a giant an idiot? And now I just realized it. But the thing was, what facts did she bring up? Has she discussed how she's a student landlord? Has she discussed her experiences with student tenants? Has she discussed her experience as a landlord at all? Is she even a landlord? Before you let that stranger on the internet or that family friend shit all over your dreams, think about where are they getting their information? What sources do they have? What experiences do they have? And what are their motivations for shitting on your dreams? Fast forward 7 years, me and one of the guys that bought that first student rental, we now own 4 properties together actually now. We just closed on one 2 weeks ago. And I've grown my portfolio to 16 plus properties. I think I'm doing fine with it. I still, has there been ups and downs? Yeah, absolutely. But there is with any business, with any risk-taking venture. So, that's not a big deal. I haven't even gone bald yet, and hereditary baldness is rampant on every side of my family. So I guess the stress hasn't been that bad, but it's going to happen. But this is just crazy that this stranger on the internet just decided to shit all over my dreams, tell me that I deserve to be kicked in the nuts because I talked my 2 buddies into this investment. Investment which made them plenty of money over the years, investment which helped them take their financial lives to the next level. That is crazy that I'd spent, a year, read tons of books, watched tons of TV shows, all getting prepared to becoming a real estate investor, and then one internet troll almost ruined it for me. And she never responded afterwards to that forum. But it doesn't even really matter because the damage was done to my ego. I was scared shitless. And for months, I was just waiting for the ball to drop, right? I was just waiting for the hammer to fall, for the axe to fall, whatever you want to call it. And it's why did I let that stranger control my life and potentially my future? Who the f*** is Barrowblend? But that was real for me, guys. And you're probably going to experience something similar, whether it's in real life or on the internet. And so you're going to have to decide, are you going to let some random stranger on the internet, some family friend that has no experience, some overbearing parent that hasn't actually listened to your arguments but is just treating you like a child, are you going to let them dictate your future, or are you going to be the one in charge of your future? I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to make it sound like I'm really anti-family or anti-friends, but you do need to be super aware of who you're allowing to influence you and what facts and logic they're bringing to try and influence you with. If they're purely emotional based, I don't think you should give heavy weight to that opinion. Personally, that's how I work. And so, in my opinion, it's no wonder that I meet so many smart, intelligent, hardworking individuals who suffer from imposter syndrome. And so if you're not familiar, I'm just going to jump over to Wikipedia and I'll read off to you what imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome is a concept describing individuals who are marked by an inability to internalize their accomplishments and a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud. The term was coined in 1978 by clinical psychologists Pauline R. Clance and Suzanne A. Imes. Despite external evidence of their competence, those exhibiting the syndrome remain convinced that they are frauds and do not deserve the success they have achieved. Proof of success is dismissed as luck, timing, or as a result of deceiving others into thinking they are more intelligent and competent than they believe themselves to be. While early research focused on the prevalence among high-achieving women, imposter syndrome has been found to affect both men and women in roughly equal numbers. And so, like I said earlier, the most important thing is, remember, no one's going to give you permission for success, but tons of people are going to be more than happy to shit on your dreams. And so, fast forward 6 years, and I've now built up a larger real estate portfolio. I'm more self-confident. So I decided to start a YouTube channel documenting my experience as a real estate investor. And of course, where's one of the first places I go to post about my real estate investing experience? Hey, Canadian Money Forum. I'm more of a lurker on these forums than an active poster, but I wanted to share a link to my YouTube channel, which I just launched today. I discuss about some of my experiences, about how I've been investing in real estate for over 6 years. I discuss the exact strategies I use in real estate investing, as well as kind of my approach on a specific property, the Burn the Live Street video if you're interested. I'll put a link down to both of these forums if you guys want to check them out. Please don't troll anyone that was negative to me though. This is in the past. I'm not worried about it. I just really want to use this as an example to you guys, so you guys kind of remember to really vet the sources of information that you're allowing to influence you. Someone checked it out, said they liked it, that they liked the Bigger Pockets meetings that I was a part of. Then one of the first posts is they're originally from the area and wondering why I chose that area, and that the tenants can be a nightmare in that area, so that didn't feel great. They dive into further detail when someone else challenged them, and so they just said, the Live Street area has been a hole for longer than I can remember, and that's going back to the 70s. It's not the DTES of Vancouver, but it's likely been on the undesirable side for at least just as long. Just notice the rents. It was $11.50 and now it's $15.50 for a duplex. That's less than $800 per unit. I know London isn't Toronto when it comes to rents, but it's extremely cheap. That means there's a lot of tenants that are not reliable. In addition, London is small and there is no gentrification, but because it isn't needed. It's known as a 15-minute city, and there's no need to live closer to the city center. Wow. So literally no one in the city of London, Ontario wants to live near the city center. That means all my rental properties are in a terrible location. It sounds like people don't even rent unless they're pieces of shit in London, Ontario based on Market Lost's opinion. And it just seems like someone who starts dating. Everything is roses and sunshine, but the real work is about to begin. And so Just a Guy is a frequent commenter in the Canadian Money forums, and he brought out all kinds of great points. The way people often approach other success. Well, it seems your system, like the other side I often quote, is very similar to my own system. Of course, I'm sure there will be a bunch of people out there who now claim there's no way you can buy properties at these prices. And then further on, he chimed in as well. I find it amazing how people will go to any lengths to talk themselves out of investing. The place is a dump, bad neighborhood, you could have nightmare tenants, etc. Well, all of you spend your time coming up with reasons not to do it. People like Matt are slowly making a lot of money. Instead of looking for problems, people like Matt look for solutions. I'll bet he will be handsomely rewarded for his efforts. And so the funny thing here is, there's a bunch of people commenting that aren't landlords, that haven't been landlords and don't want to be landlords. They're telling you why it's a bad idea to be a landlord. Meanwhile, Just a Guy, who's a frequent contributor on Canadian Money Forum and also known for being a landlord, is talking about how he's made money, about how other people that work hard in real estate make money. Can you make money in real estate? Do you believe that that's true or not true? And the people that say that it's not true, is that truly a blanket statement, as in just no one ever makes money in real estate? Because that sounds naive to me. Fast forward now to present day, and I still buy rental properties. I still buy investment properties. And so I still get challenged by friends and family asking me, do you really need another one? Why do you want more stress? Blah, 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 blah. The crazy thing to me is when they still hit me up with these doubts about like, are you really making money investing in real estate? I mean, are you serious? Why would I keep doing it if I didn't think it was a profitable endeavor, or if I didn't think it was going to lead to profitability? That would be insane if I was still doing it 7 years later and still not making money. It would literally be in my definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That was if I hadn't been making money doing it. So like the funny thing is, these days, you know, I'm a little bit more confident, so I'll try and engage these individuals in conversation. So what do you do for a living, Matt? Oh, I'm a real estate investor. Oh, really? Can you make money in real estate? Because like my uncle had a rental property and like he lost his shirt. And so like my response is, yeah, actually all my rental properties currently cash flow. So, you know, even if the market were to take a hit on price levels, I'd still be fine from a cash flow perspective, and I could weather that storm. What if rents go down though, Matt? Well, actually, like my properties cash flow well enough that I could probably have close to a 30% reduction in rent and still be break even from a cash flow perspective. So again, I feel pretty safe that I could weather any mild to medium-sized economic storm that may come, because it's pretty rare, you know, a 20 or 30% decrease in house prices. Is that plausible? Yes, absolutely. But is like a 20 to 30% reduction in rents that feasible? I don't think it is. It's way less likely that you're going to have a substantial reduction in rents versus a reduction in prices, and that's just kind of based on the market fundamentals. Also, historically, we haven't seen major corrections in rent prices the same way we have seen in asset prices. But even if it did drop more than 30%, you know, I'm still paying down my debt principal. So I'm still actually making income from an accounting or a paper perspective. It's just that I'm not cash flowing. So that still means I could actually even take a bigger hit than 30% reduction in rent and weather that storm. So like, let that sink in. That's pretty powerful. But the funny thing is, they don't let it sink in. They don't think it's powerful. And so those counter with like, oh, I don't really know all about that, but I think real estate's too risky right now. And you're like, okay, do you have any facts you would like to share with me on why you think real estate's a bad investment, just as a blanket statement? Notice how they essentially had no good reason, no counter argument, no facts to support their position. They're just going off of emotion and regurgitating what they've heard other people say. So again, that's why you need to vet the sources of information so well if you really want to have an understanding, if you want to kind of feel confident in your position. So then I'll counter them and ask, okay, well, what sort of assets are you currently investing in, and why do you feel safer investing in that asset class than real estate? And the funny thing is, half the people hating on me for being a slumlord or saying that real estate's risky, they'll then respond with like, I wish I could save money, but you know, it's so hard to even make ends meet these days that I maybe just have a little bit of money that I put into my employer's mutual fund program. And you're like, wait, what? What? So you're telling me that it's a terrible idea to invest in cash flowing real estate property, but just living a lifestyle that you can't save money on is the better strategy? Is that what you're pitching me here? Because I'm not sure what your sales points are. So then like they might say something different. They might say, oh, well, like the market's just way too volatile right now, so I'm holding everything in cash, or I'm buying gold or cryptocurrency or whatever the new fad is. And the thing is, cash, gold, cryptocurrency, all those are meant to be a store of wealth, not a wealth generating investment. It's not a wealth generating asset. They're not paying you dividends or returns. It's not a stake in anything in particular, particularly cash and gold. Can you make money by having invested in gold or a high interest savings account or cryptocurrency? Yes, theoretically you can make money doing that, and props to people that are. Now, is it long-term sustainable? Not sure it is, because they're meant to be stores of wealth, not wealth-generating assets in and of themselves. You know, the price of gold can fluctuate at any given moment in time. It can be worth $300 an ounce or $3,000 an ounce. but it's still actually just supposed to represent that physical asset. Whereas an ownership stake in an income generating asset should be producing returns. So whether that's like a dividend stock, whether that's a private business, whether that's some sort of content business, whether that's real estate investing. I don't want to get caught up on the specifics in this video, but the idea is, sorry, I got off on a tangent there. Let's pull this back in. And so all I'm trying to say here is, what are they investing in that they're not facts oriented, that they're not logical in their arguments? And so once you really start peeling back the layers of that onion, it's going to give you the confidence and self-assuredness that yes, this can be done, that you're not an idiot, that you're not a moron, that if you put in the hard work, if you do your research, if you stay unemotional in your investing, that you will succeed. So anyways, I guess this video was just a really long way for me to tell you, be very careful about who you're letting influence you. Don't treat everyone's opinion as equal. And if they have a strong opinion, find out what facts they're using as a basis for it. What anecdotal evidence do they have? What real hard, cold truths are they basing their opinion on? Because if they have nothing, if they're just basing it on emotion, reactions, gut feelings, it's a sign that they actually don't have an argument. They simply have an emotion that they're trying to project upon you. And trust in yourself, trust in your numbers. You've done the research, you've done the hard work, it will pay off. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, guys. It means the world to me. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts? Have you dealt with imposter syndrome? Are you constantly self-doubting? Do you have people that are just always hating on you? People that are always throwing up roadblocks but never trying to find solutions? If someone only finds problems and they're never looking for solutions, all they'll ever find are problems. So I hope you found this video enjoyable. If you did, smash that like button. It means a lot to me. And if you haven't already subscribed. And YouTube wants you to check out the 2 videos below this video right here. So click on one of those. And until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money out there for us to all make it. But if you're not saving money, I mean, what's the point, guys? Thanks.